Maybe you shouldn't be in charge of purchasing the alcohol.
Oh, it was Canadian. It was
Not really at all, even a little bit. 7 shots deep.
awkward. Well, this guy is psycho. He's sadistic as fuck.
We need to just go walk in the woods. Let's go. Your mind's about to be blown. Where's Astral? I miss you. Astral.
R.I.P.
Never have I shot one person. She's like, and then I go, hey, Johnny.
Alright, D.
I see you.
Liz.
Okay.
A lot. I got tattooed at your apartment.
Oh, you did get tattooed at my apartment.
That one time you
Can I
passed
see
out
it?
or
What does it look
something?
like now?
You can see it.
I want to see it.
Like, it doesn't look like it.
What does it say?
It's just I'm trying to be better than good enough. It's a Drake quote. And then later I have a dot from
I remember
Stevie
that
Joe.
one.
Yeah, Megan did that, right?
No.
Megan did that. And
Yeah.
then
Oh,
Stevie
okay.
Joe did the dot. Like an asshole.
You're like, fine, just hurry up.
No, I punched him
Oh,
in
really?
the face.
Really?
Yeah,
Was
and
that what
after he was
happened?
nice to me, like I was a jerk. Like, yes. Cover my only birthmark.
Okay. Hello and welcome. You're listening to RidicuLiz, a podcast based in Houston where we discuss all things scandalous, bizarre, and downright ridiculous. I have with me Nancy
As always.
and Sarah today.
Hi.
So, this is Sarah's first time here, but I've known Sarah for a very, very long time and met her through Nancy. So we're all just one big family, really.
Big happy family.
Yes. So, happy Valentine's Day.
What?
Happy Valentine's Day! I'm super basic and I love to theme. So today's theme actually Sarah came up with, and it's crimes of passion for Valentine's Day. So she came up with a theme and I picked a story within that. Let me tell y'all first, real quick before I get into it. We have a giveaway going on, $50 Visa gift card. All you have to do is rate or review us somewhere, anywhere, wherever you listen to us. If they have like a rating thing, just rate it and let me know about it, and you're in the drawing. That's literally all you have to do.
Where do they send their evidence to?
To RidicuLizPodcast@gmail.com. That's RIDICULIZ podcast@gmail.com. Yes. Okay. So get some $50. Anyone can use $50.
I mean,
Visa gift card. Pay bill.
Hello.
Or get your nails done. Whatever.
ooh.
Okay. So back to crimes of passion. I'm going to tell you the story of Lorena Gallo. That's her middle name.
Gallo?
Gallo.
With an E?
With an A.
Gayyllo. But
Oh, E.
Jello J. I'm really. We're drinking wine today. I don't drink much anymore. Okay. Okay. So I got my information from the New York Times, Vanity Fair. There was a 2020 episode about them, and I'm going to surprise you with the name in a minute, so I'm not going to tell you the full episode title of that 2020, but it was Love Hurts. From the podcast You're Wrong About and the Huffington Post. So this is a major story, guys, okay? Lorena Gallo was born in Ecuador in 1969, and she was raised in Venezuela. She fell in love with America, the America you see in the movies and on TV. A friend recalls her watching the Flintstones and saying, look, even they have a microwave and they're a middle-class family. She came to the U.S. I know.
Like, wow.
Wow.
A microwave?
I know, that's high class.
I don't have a white microwave, so I guess so.
She came to the U.S. in 1987 on a student visa and attended Northern Virginia Community College and worked as a manicurist at the salon of a local businesswoman, Miss Jana Basutti. Lorena first met John Wayne Bobbitt of Niagara Falls, New York, when he was serving in the Marines. Does that name ring a bell?
What name?
John Wayne Bobbitt?
John Wayne.
John Wayne.
Bobbitt.
Bobbitt.
know
Who's
John
Bobbitt?
Wayne.
Yeah,
Okay.
I only know John Wayne. I don't.
They met at a dance hall near the U.S. Marine Corps base in Quantico. He was a Lance Corporal, and the attraction was instantaneous, powerful, and mutual. Lorena said, they eventually get married, and her name turns into Lorena Bobbitt. Does that name sound familiar-ish?
Lorena?
Yeah.
Bobbitt?
Lorena Bobbitt?
I don't know Bobbitt.
Oh, this is
Or
such a big
Bobbitt.
story in the 90s.
Really?
Okay, yes. 1996, I believe. Okay.
96.
She said, I thought John was very handsome. Blue eyes, a man in uniform, you know. He was almost like a symbol, a Marine, fighting for the country. I believed in this beautiful country. I was swept off my feet, and I wanted my American dream. John said, Lorena was pretty. She was innocent. She was real sweet. End of quote.
Okay.
In 1989, Lorena's student visa would be up and she would have to go back to Venezuela. So on June 18th, 1989, they wed. The bride was 20, the groom was 22. This was 4 years before the incident. So shortly after they married, she starts to support them. She's working as a manicurist. He does not re-enlist with the Marines, is sporadically employed. She ends up embezzling $72,000 from work at one point, which he brings up later as a sign of her untrustworthiness. She said this was to support them, and she was pressured by him into doing it. And then he's going to turn around and...
there? That's so messed up.
Right? Okay. He's such a dick. They separated for a period of time, and he fathered a child. And then eventually, she takes him back, but they're talking about divorce soon after. They know the end is coming. Like, you know what I mean?
But he hasn't
You just kind of know.
Who's he father?
He left her for a little bit, hooked up with some chick, got her pregnant, and then left her... Went back to Lorena. Like, I never read anything really about the kid.
That's
like,
so
he's not...
So we're like team who right now? Good.
Team Lorena all the way. I'm just telling you that now. Team Lorena. Okay. In the state of Virginia, it's not considered spousal rape if you are living together and there is no physical injury. So she basically made a lot of claims saying that he raped her a lot. Like, if he wanted it, he got it. Like, you're my wife. You're in a, you know, student visa marriage with me. You know, we have to be married for 5 years for you to be legal. Like, you know, you belong to me kind of thing. Like, very overpowering of her. She's like 96 pounds or something. She's very, very tiny. Tiny, tiny little thing. So on the night of June 23rd, 1993, John goes out with one of his friends drinking. He comes back about 3 in the morning. She said, quote, he jumped on top of me and started grabbing my arms really tight. She told ABC News in the interview at the time, I said, I don't want to have sex. He forced me. My underwear was ripping off. I was just fighting. He wouldn't listen. In some articles I read, he says that he doesn't remember having sex with her when he came home. Other places he states it was consensual sex that they had together. In the documentary. In the documentary that's coming out on the 15th. So when you guys are listening to this, it's tomorrow because it's like a big anniversary that's coming up. Wow. So there's a big documentary. It's a 4-part series done by Jordan Peele from Kenan and Kel. From Jordan Peele from
Can't take your order.
It's like Key and Peele or something. I don't know. Anyways, cut all that out. He has a show. It's pretty famous. And he's the one who wrote... It's like, it's been on for a couple years. And I can't think of the name. But he also No. You seen that movie Get Out?
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay, well, he wrote that.
Okay.
And that was like a big hit. And he just came up in the Super Bowl. They did the trailer for the second to Get Out.
He's the director.
It's Jordan Peele, but he's in the show.
Twilight?
Key and Peele or something, or P and Keel. It's like on Comedy Central, I think. I'm totally wrong. I don't have cable, so I see it sometimes, I think, on Hulu.
Get Out? Key and Peele.
Key and Peele.
I know.
Have you heard of that? It's like sketch comedy show. It's really funny.
I've seen them a lot, actually.
I don't even.
They do this one skit where it's both sides, like they're texting each other. And one guy's like, hey, what's up? And then you read it, he's like, hey, what's up? It's like how you misinterpret like how they're saying it, and they're like,
that's awesome.
Nothing, man, what's going on? And he's like, nothing. Man, what's going on? Or something like that. And he's like, the fuck? Why is he giving me attitude? And they're both just like, it's so funny. But anyways, so this guy is doing a documentary on Lorena. Okay. And for her to finally tell, just like 25 years later, to finally tell her side of the story.
Wow.
Yeah, because it was sensationalized. Oh, you'll see. Okay. So, that's coming out February 15th. And that's tomorrow, guys. I read this quote somewhere, and this was from him. He maintained that he planned to divorce Lorena, and that after he denied her sex that night, in a vengeful rage, she cut off his penis while he slept. This is the real story now.
What channel is this?
The documentary is Amazon. It's going to be on Amazon, so if you have Amazon Prime or whatever, which I Well, my dad has it, and I have his password, so.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah.
I
If
can
y'all
say
want
how many people
to.
have, like,
Well,
never mind.
Yeah. So she says that he raped her when he got home, and that was not an uncommon thing in their marriage. Her story seems more plausible. She said he held her down, and that he said previously that forcing someone to submit sexually was a turn-on for him. She said she goes to get a glass of water, sees the knife in the kitchen, and just sort of grabs it, not thinking or planning anything out. John said he initially felt her grabbing him and thought, hey, round two, you know? Yeah.
Really, dude?
She cuts it off, and he wakes up. He freaks out, and he wakes his friends up to take him to the hospital. His friend doesn't think it's super serious and starts brushing his teeth. And John's like, dude, like, let's go. Come on. He put on his pants and, like, we have to go to the hospital now.
Damn.
She runs out of the apartment with no shoes. She's holding a penis in one hand and his Game Boy in the other. Like, she just mindlessly grabbed something and then ran. Probably thinking she was grabbing her keys or something. Who knows? She said, quote, I tried to drive the car, obviously, but I had this thing in my hand so I couldn't drive, so I got rid of it. Further down the road is the nail salon where she worked and fled to that night. She said, I'm not a vindictive person because I told them where it was. Lorena Gallo, as she is now known, said by them she means the police, who sometime after 4:30 a.m. clutched their loins and went digging through the overgrown roadside grass for the missing member. They found it, put it on ice in a Big Bite hot dog box from a nearby 7-Eleven, and rushed it to the hospital, where in a 9.5-hour surgery, urological and plastic surgery, it was reattached and restored to almost full function.
What's the almost?
I don't know. Because I know he gets a surgery again on it later on. So she drives to her boss's house, Janet Bussati. She doesn't have any friends, so this is the boss that she embezzled from. Her boss decides to call the police and explain what happened. So before he goes to trial, because she has accused John of rape, so he goes on trial for sexual assault. And a jury of mostly women acquits him. One of the jurors later told the New York Times that they wanted to have an addendum saying this is not to be taken lightly and this is not a feminist statement, this is a real verdict. A weird thing that happened with both of these cases is that, so there was 2 trials. The first trial was on John for the abuse, for the rape, for the sexual assault that he got charged with or whatever. And then would be her trial for the cutting off his penis. But people just remember some lady cut off a penis. Like, they don't remember there was 2 trials. They don't remember, like no focus was put on him for what he did to her. Everyone's just like, oh, this poor guy got his penis cut off. You know what I mean? They don't realize. Yeah, exactly. So Paul B. Ebert, the Prince William County Commonwealth Attorney, one-stop shop. So he's the one who prosecutes John and like, you did something wrong, and uses Lorena as like his star witness, right? So John gets acquitted, and then they do Lorena's trial. This same guy is a prosecutor and prosecutes against Lorena and uses John as a star witness against her. So he's playing both sides of the field, and for some reason it's completely legal because he's the only one in that county. Like, that's his job, is to prosecute, and it's 2 different cases, even though they're related. Yeah, right?
That's stupid.
Exactly. Exactly.
They never saw this?
Well, I mean, it happened. It just, like, looking back now, and I'm thinking that, but like, it wasn't against the law apparently.
Like, they played y'all.
Yeah. So his quotes were, you might say these 2 people deserve each other. It's not the best position to be in. I believe what she said was the truth. And I continue to believe that what she did in response was not justified. Like, no, you can't do that.
That's a demoralizing and painful.
Exactly. So I can kind of see that a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they should have gotten someone else for both of them.
So they both go free? I mean, what's the verdict?
Okay. So after the trial, America was divided on issues that are now popping up again, rightfully so, with the Me Too movement. And in 1993, the rhetoric that we see is that it's going to be, quote, open season on husbands for men in America. They thought the wives who were mad at the husbands would start doing the same, copycat crimes, and use battered women defense to get off completely, or with a very light sentence. And that, do you know anything about the Amy Fisher Buttafuoco case? It was this big case. It's like a Lifetime movie. Long story short, the mistress comes and shoots the wife in the face, and she survives. But it's just a highly publicized, and I think he was famous for something. Buttafuoco, it's like, I don't know. He's famous for something back then.
Thing, and that's why I
can't remember what. Yeah. So it was very sensationalized in the news. You know, Inquirer, whatever, blah blah blah. Then her case, and then right after her, in like a couple of months, was, where was it? Yeah, the O.J. Simpson trial and chase and all that was like just a few months after, so it just overshadowed completely. So she had her like where everyone was focused on her for like maybe 4 months straight, and then bam, this happened and she was out of the way. So, and I think Tonya Harding was like right after that too, right after or right before. So like all these big trials like happened back. And so yeah. So people just were there was no support. People just forgot about her.
Everything else. Okay.
So his trial isn't sensationalized. Hers gets televised, and hers is the first that gets televised. So now we televise a lot of trials, and you can watch.
True.
Yeah, hers was the first. Oh, yeah, that's too. Yeah,
that's even real. Oh no,
it's not.
Part of me thinks it is though.
I think it's kind of considered real, or
it's real.
But they do the payout. So like, I was to sue you, and she verdicts that you need to pay me $2,000 for fucking breaking my glass. Mm-hmm. Then they're gonna pay the $2,000. You don't pay it because you're on the show. So you get a free trip up there. They pay for your room and board, give you a per diem or whatever for food and shit, and then you're
there.
Yeah, and then you do it, and then you're done. And you get your payout.
So we could totally, okay.
With me to do it because my fucking car.
And
I was like, just go to the fucking Judge Judy with me. And I think she had warrants or something. She was like, no. Okay. Sorry. So hers is the first to get televised.
For chopping off.
For chopping off stuff. Okay. She is found not guilty by reason of temporary insanity, which is a defense that usually does not work. A parade of witnesses supported her story of domestic abuse, saying they had observed her with bruises on her wrists, arms, shoulders, and head. Others recalled seeing him hit and shove her for minor transgressions, such as how she cooked, etc. Right? At least she's cooking, bitch.
I know.
An educational pamphlet on rape given to her shortly before the incident was discovered on the couple's dresser by the police. She said they always just focused on it, and it's like they all missed it or didn't care why I did it, she said. Lorena is correct, of course, that most people forget that she was tried for what she did, and John was charged with marital sexual assault. He was acquitted, though, but still, he was charged, It didn't just come out of nowhere. At the time, marital rape only recently had been made a crime in all 50 states and was nearly impossible to prove in Virginia. In 1994, after she served a brief mandated stint in a mental hospital, Lorena went back to her life as a manicurist. The nail salon, after all, had been Lorena's refuge before and after the trial. She would talk to clients and learn that they too had been victims of domestic abuse. She said, "That's when I realized what happened to me could have happened to any woman in a desperate situation." She hopes to open her own shelter. She said, "When I was abused, I went to the salon and I didn't have the key and had to sleep in my car outside." So that's why she wants to open a shelter, because she's been stuck outside before when she could have needed somewhere to go, and so she wants to do something for other people.
That's awesome.
She later did hair and sold real estate. She attended her Catholic church regularly and went to community college where she met David Bellinger. The two were study partners and friends for years before they became romantically involved. She never dated anyone else, she said, because, well, how can you date really when you're that Lorena? The couple now have a 13-year-old daughter and live on a tidy street in a cream-colored brick house.
Oh, cute.
She now has a nonprofit called Lorena's Red Wagon that helps survivors of domestic violence. She has organized toy drives for kids in shelters and trained to be a domestic violence advocate, occasionally helping to facilitate a 15-week educational and support group with abused women in her county. She said, "I realized I may as well make a good thing out of a bad thing." Mm-hmm. She said, "When I finished the trial in the beginning, geez, I couldn't even go to the grocery store because people would say, 'Oh my God, you know what, I know you.' I just wanted to put my groceries down and go home. Just wanted to take care of myself and my family, just to integrate myself into normalcy, into normal life." In the years since the trial, he was arrested several times and served jail time for violence against 2 different women.
Wow. Not even surprised.
John went on to star in 2 pornographic films. One named John Wayne Bobbitt Uncut, and the other one, John Wayne Bobbitt's Frankenpenis.
Whoa.
Fun fact.
That's a funny one. I mean, I don't know if they were trying to be clever.
Yes. Fun fact. The Ron Jeremy version of events is that Lorena is sleeping naked. John comes home and has consensual sex with her, but is boring and can't stay hard. She goes and gets the knife, stands over him, and tells him he deserves this and she's going to hurt him. She cuts it off and throws it at the feet of Motorhead's Lemmy, who also does the closing credit theme. He was on the Howard Stern, I hate Howard Stern, show numerous times. During one segment, Stern is quoted saying, "I don't even buy that he was raping her. She's not that great looking." Howard fucking Stern.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, he's known for talking like that. He is known for just being a shitty man.
He should run for president.
Yeah. Right? Grab her by the pussy.
I just googled his video.
Is it bad? I didn't even look at pictures or anything of it.
Bless. Well, he's late. His video. I don't know which one. Oh my lord. Well, yeah, he's laying on his back, and there's some blonde girl licking on his pee-pee.
Oh, okay. Well,
He looks like a typical '90s guy.
yeah.
Brown hair. Yeah.
He looks like a trailer park mullet man, kind of. I mean, he doesn't have a mullet. I don't think he has a mullet, but he has mullet essence.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't even know. Okay.
That's not him. Sarah, what are you looking at?
No, that was
Sarah.
like something about beard. I think it's the uncut. Ew. You have to see the one I saw.
All right. She's not even blonde. Like, she's blonde now, but back then she wasn't.
That's her?
No, that's just a porn. So they made a porn about her. Well, maybe it's the Franken penis one. I don't think she's in the Franken penis
other
one.
was close up.
I don't need to see it. I do not need to see it. I've seen. When you've seen one, you've seen them all.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey, lady.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so on Dr. Oz,
Mm-hmm.
he said he hadn't seen Lorena, which is the name of the docuseries or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but that he said filmmakers had set him up to make him look bad. He said, quote, "She was never abused. She was always the abuser, and she cut off my penis because I was going to leave her."
Oh.
He said, "I asked John about the additional charges that the film covers, including a harrowing interview with one of his ex-girlfriends, who said he tied her to the bed in his Niagara Falls, New York apartment for several days, repeatedly raped her. He was convicted and spent time in jail for that."
Mm.
The hell?
He said, quote, "It's all made up, and I'm tired of it. I was with a lot of women, and now none of them ever complain, except Lorena." He paused. "And Joanna." That was his quote.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, I got the other one. Lorena mostly resisted offers to turn their castration saga into a film or a TV series. She turned down a $1 million offer to pose for Playboy. She said, quote, "$1 million is $1 million. It would have been amazing, but I wasn't raised that way." The filmmakers who approached her over the years never wanted to focus on the abuse, the stories she really wanted to talk about. On talk shows, they made her out to seem like an unsatisfied, unhinged wife who was just sick of her husband. Now, 25 years later, Jordan Peele, the Oscar winner behind Get Out, is creating a 4-part docuseries on Amazon called Lorena, the one we talked about. And we're going to end on his quote. He said, "When we hear the name Bobbitt, we think of one of the most sensationalized incidents to ever be catapulted into a full-blown media spectacle. With this project, Lorena has a platform to tell her truth, as well as engage in a critical conversation about gender dynamics, abuse, and her demand for justice. This is Lorena's story, and we're honored to help her tell it."
That's her.
Yeah, that was her then.
Aww.
Now she's just a tiny older woman.
Damn.
You know, one of the interviewers that I read, I think the Vanity Fair article, the lady was like, I was surprised with how, like, just nice and maternal she seemed, and like our conversation was so casual. And she was like, later on I realized she was a manicurist. She talked to hundreds of people all the time, like a casual little conversation while she was doing her nails. And she's like, that's exactly what it felt like with her. Like, she was just so like a friend you know, haven't hung out with in a while, but yeah. The sweet lady, you know. It was so big in the 90s. It's been in like Family Guy, like all the different, there's always references to it. I think Eminem has rap lyrics where he talks about
I think I've been living under a rock.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah. And that's the story of Lorena Gallo Bobbitt.
Crimes of passion.
I like
that.
Passion.
That was a good one.
Okay, we're gonna end this. We're gonna end this how we always do, with our wheel of endings.
Yay.
All right, who wants to go first? Or do you want to paper, rock, scissors?
We'll guest of honor Sarah Penn to do
Okay. Sarah Pants. You're gonna spin the wheel first.
Oh man.
Famous last meal. Okay, so you want to name a famous person's last meal or answer what would be your last meal.
Maybe my last meal.
And so if you're on death row, what would your last meal be?
If I could eat, I would choose like a lobster bisque and like a tomato soup with like fucking all the fat butter bread and like grilled cheese. It's like, oh my god, yes.
Nice.
Sounds so good.
That sounds really good.
Any dinner.
I'd fucking eat some fancy ass tomato soup with mac and cheese. Fuck yeah.
Nice. Good job. I like that.
I did not expect that.
Hashtag treat yourself. Okay. You wanna go next? Wheel of endings.
Show. Zombie apocalypse.
Ooh, zombie apocalypse.
So it says name 3 people with you and your weapon of choice. Ooh, okay. 3 people with me. Definitely Josh.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Who else would I bring with me? Dang.
What did I say? How many people? 3 people? Okay,
yeah,
so we got 1. 2 left.
Josh for sure. Gosh, this would be pretty intense.
Yeah.
3 people you take a bullet for. That's how I look at it.
I'm thinking about 3 people who
No, because I want to die. Yeah, I want fighters.
He's tactical, and
hopefully they
he'll
feel the
protect
same way
me.
about me.
He's
Shit.
2 for 1. Yeah, no shit, right?
Right.
Well,
You know a lot about guns. You're good.
That's true. But
You are an asset in the zombie apocalypse, I think. I would not be. I'm fat.
No.
I don't have a gun.
No.
I can't go anywhere with this one.
I'm pretty good at shooting, actually.
I might survive because someone takes pity on me because she's so cute.
Oh, don't do that first. Like the Bird Box? Oh my god.
Oh, I didn't watch it.
You haven't watched it?
Oh,
Why not? It's really good.
it's good. It's
No,
so
it's
good.
not
Yeah,
that scary.
We
it's
don't fuck with scary movies in my house.
scary slash like
Pretty scared.
thriller.
It's a thriller. It's
for sure.
We don't fuck with
Intense.
any of that.
Why?
Because somebody's a scaredy cat at my house.
he's like this.
Okay.
Okay, he's not invited to
Okay.
apocalypse.
So
Zombie
he's not
apocalypse
one of your next 2
No.
people.
He's
No.
a good shooter, but that's about it. I mean,
He'd be scared. He'd push me in the front. Like
Slash
no, thank
us
ya.
for sure.
He's like, take this one. Who are my other 2? Let me see.
Your dad is hardcore as fuck.
That is very true. But no, yeah, I could totally choose my dad. Yeah. Okay, so definitely Josh, my dad, because they would both be able to protect themselves. I can pick anybody, even people I don't know, right?
Yeah.
Okay. There's no rules. Okay, so obviously when I think about zombies, or especially in a zombie apocalypse, I think about The Walking Dead, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it would have to be Daryl, Josh.
Oh, Daryl from Walking. Okay.
Dead, yeah.
Yeah,
for sure
I
Daryl,
agree with that. I agree with that.
Josh. And I'm also thinking about the fact like I have to live with this person for the rest of my life too. You know, like
Yeah.
whether they survive or not. So I want to think about someone I would want to spend time with. So this is really hard. Who would be your top 3?
This isn't my wheel.
I have one idea.
I'll tell you when it's my wheel.
Okay. That's true. I just don't want anybody's gonna drag me down. You know.
She's thinking real hard about this. She's got Josh, and she's got Daryl from The Walking Dead.
First, come to mind, man.
Okay. If it first comes to mind, and I have to think female because I just feel like I have to even out the playing field here. It'd have to be Josh's sister Judy
Nice.
Oh, okay.
because she could hold her own for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
I feel like that for sure.
I'm not feeling
All right, good pick.
Yeah.
We'll see if we survive.
Oh my goodness. I mean, they'd probably. I don't know. I have no idea. I think I'd be just like, what the fuck do you need and how we're gonna get there? Like.
Okay, I'm gonna do my wheel. Okay, so this is something good that happened to you today or this week.
Oh.
So, I know something that I'm happy about this week. I signed up for HelloFresh.
Nice.
So, I got a really good coupon code.
Okay.
and it's like one of those meal delivery whatevers. So there's an app with it, and you pick 2 meals, and there's different cultural,
Like
meals.
the Chinese food
There's
or
like
something.
there's like Mexican food and Chinese food and like
I've seen it. I like
some
it.
Indian food and stuff like that. And then there's like burgers and just different stuff. So we made one of them so far, and it's these like poblano burgers
Oh, yum.
and French fries and stuff like that. And that's what he made. So what we're gonna do until we like finish it, because we're only gonna do it for the coupon codes.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna pay full price for that.
It's a little steep.
But exactly,
Yeah.
but like $20 for 2 meals, 2 servings each. So, and the next one is this low calorie chili, but it's like pretty cool because we're like trying to move in the next few weeks. So we're gonna be packing up the kitchen and whatever. So we're gonna leave only a couple things out so that we can do those meals and stuff with, and then we're just gonna go out to eat. Okay, but that was my fucking hooray. Fucking HelloFresh. Okay. Thanks for hanging out with us. It was good having you. Okay, bye.
Bye. See you later.
See you later.
Hey y'all, it's giveaway time, and who doesn't like free stuff? We're giving you a $50 Visa gift card, and all you gotta do is rate and or review us on any platform. Take a screenshot and email it to ridiculispodcast@gmail.com. That's RIDICULIZ podcast@gmail.com. You'll get a submission for a rate and a review. So if you do both, you'll get 2. You can get 1 extra submission a day if you share any of our posts on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter and tag us. Must be 18 or over and live in the US for shipping. Deadline is February 21st, and winner will be announced in the following week's episode and emailed privately. Good luck, guys. Thanks for listening to RidicuLiz. Our cover art is done by Ashley Jackson. Check out our website at RidicuLizPod.com. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter at RidicuLizPod, on Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube at RidicuLizPodcast. And if you have any ridiculous stories of your own, please email us at ridiculizpodcast@gmail.com. That's RIDICULIZ podcast@gmail.com. Episodes are available on Apple iTunes, Stitcher, and wherever else you get your podcasts. More importantly, if you like our show, please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're hearing us now. It's really the best way to help us out. We're also an independent show, so if you would like to support us and get a shout out, visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/ridiculiz. See you next time. It's so fun to
I miss
listen to
Destiny. Is she back?
Yeah, she's back. She's gonna I did a little thing with her sometime last week or something. But I told her we're gonna get together sometime at the end of March. Because I'm taking the whole month of March off. What? Like, this one's gonna go out next week, and then I already have the next 2 weeks recorded, and then the rest of these are gonna go out in April. And I have some that are gonna go out, so I'm just pre-recording. So I have time to just take my time editing.
Yay, because that's the hardest part is
Yeah.
sitting down to record.
I'm moving, your wedding, the
Like,
bridal,
busy.
like all the stuff. Like I have too much going on. And rodeo, I'm working rodeo on my days off.
Cool.
So I'm like, there's just too much going on in the month of March. So
I haven't watched my face.
behind the
today.
scenes, I'll put filters.
Can I get more drink before?
Ready? Hold on. Ready, Sarah?
Snapchat. Oh, do you want me to put the like things on your face?
Something.
I don't know.
Short unicorns.
Ooh, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I was picking on you both up. Okay.
I don't know. What are we doing?
Jeez. Wait, it's only picking. Oh, there it goes. Wait, I want you to
I
have a
don't know
horn.
what
Right. It keeps going in and out of Sarah because her
Because I
hat.
have a hat.
No, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Oh. I feel like my tummy.
We're so cute. Look at it. You see my tummy.
Oh, who cares?
We're so cute. I'm gonna stick her over you.
On your titties, girl.
Well, I'm gonna write on there. Families, man. Cheers.
Cheers to
Gotta love them. Gotta
Yes.
love all of them. Okay. All right, let's start this. Okay.
This is really
It's super sweet. Try mine.
called beyond Zachary. I have wine.
Right.
Wait, what'd you make?
Because it's a big
Zachary.
bottle. I didn't make it. It's a bottle. It says sweet red or something.
Mm.
Cut all that.
I'm not scared.
Right? I'm gonna sue you, girl. Let's call Judge Judy. So bad.
She wrecked my BMW, so I need you to pay me like $30,000.
I think it's only to so much. There's a limit on like
People.
the amount.
Mm-hmm. I think that determines people's court, like the amount you owe.
Mhm.
You're right.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
I
That's
think
that's
I think
a
like
nice
it's like a small claims type,
Mhm.
like a lawsuit or whatever. Anyway.
Yeah. Really.
I'm sorry. I love the name of some porn movies. Like my favorite is Armageddon.
It's so perfect.
I love when I've never seen it, but I've like read anyways. You know what I mean? Like the names of like real movies and like the fake. I don't even know if that's a real movie, but that's what like I've heard. Armageddon. I think that's
Did you ever
hilarious.
hear that from a movie? Is it on a movie? Like it's referenced.
Yeah, I think it's referenced in a movie or something, and that's why I think it's so funny. I'm like, if that's a real movie, I can look it up. So, John Wayne Bobbitt's friggin' penis.
That should be your fun fact.
Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah.
Hank.
Really? Let me see.
The side profile.
Oh, don't text it to me. I can't get pictures.
Okay. Damn
You can do Messenger.
Messenger.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Oh.
You don't? Okay, that's why. I'm saying Messenger on number.
You're like, oh,
Before.
that
That's why you didn't write me back.
fucking John.
Thought you were just ignoring
Oh
me.
my goodness.
That's what she.
No, honey, don't you want just wait today? Oh my gosh, this is my line. I hate 48. I hate 48.
No, she sounds like a really annoying rich white lady, like Southern, like Texan.
So
Like I live on the golf course.
really, I love that.
That sounds really good.
I would have a hard time choosing that. I think
Really?
I would be able to live a couple more days longer than you just because I couldn't decide what I wanted to use. Okay, so obviously when I think about zombies, or especially in a zombie apocalypse, I think about The Walking Dead, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think
Michonne.
oh, I was Michonne for Christmas, for Halloween. I think 2016. And Josh was actually my zombie, and I had him on a chain. Yeah.
Cute. I don't remember seeing that.
No.
Where was I?
It was the first year. We got together that night. That when we made it official.